recently there has been a lot of people on the internet making starter packs using ChatGPT. These are toy-like packagings with an avatar representing them and some items that relate to them in some way. Now, since many artists are anti-AI, there has also been a lot of people who actually draw their own starter pack and make one themselves. So, of course, I had to jump on a trend, and so today we'll be having a look at the starter pack I created, and I will go through through my art process with you and explain to you why I do certain things and how I do them. Anyways, with that, hello and welcome to this video. Let's jump right into it. So right over here we have a recording of the starter pack I created, and yeah, I'd say we just look at that, pause in between, and I'll tell you what I'm doing, why I'm doing that. So first I wanted to start out creating the character, so I drew up some guidelines, the pose as I wanted it, and then so the thing is, how I always start, I make a broad sketch and then I make a clearer sketch. Many artists often have the problem that their sketch looks better than the finished product because, as you can see here, many make their lines like this, like chicken scratchy lines. They make a really messy sketch, and their eyes are trained enough to see the pretty lines, to match up the good lines with each other, and so they get a good picture in their head. But the end product doesn't look as clean because in practice, they can't actually find those perfect, beautiful lines and trace them perfectly. So what I do here is I make my messy sketch and then I clean up my sketch. Takes more time, but the finished product looks better and cleaner. Let's keep going. So I started with the face. I like starting with the face and then the hair because my character has pretty interesting hair, if I do say so myself. And then I started on the twin tails, which are always the hardest part for me because since I have the longer hair back here too, it's always hard to make it look cohesive, so that to make it not appear as though it's a huge chunk of hair, but instead two twin tails and the long hair in the back. Then I started on the body. I always start with the upper body. I don't like starting at the feet. I know there's some artists who start at the feet, but I can't even draw feet. How would I start at the feet? And then I drew up this little cute outfit. So here we have one of my off-shoulder shirts, because I typically wear off-shoulder shirts. I have sensory issues when it comes to tight necklines, so I do not wear those as often, and instead I cut up all my shirts so they have an off-the-shoulder moment going on, just because I also get hot very easily. Then we have my, this is not a bra strap, if you thought that. It's actually a tank top, because I always wear a tank top under any of my clothing articles. I don't know, I just like it. It's comfortable. And then here we have my favorite cargo shorts. They're not cargo, but they have that cargo-ish look to them, if you get what I mean. They're pretty. And some bracelets, because I like to wear bracelets. That is actually not a star. It just looks like that. It's supposed to be an anarchy sign. I don't know why it looks like a star. And I did kind of mess up the feet, but we're going to fix that later on. Because right now it looks like she's hanging, which it's not supposed to. Then here I started out drawing some short socks. But in the end I thought, I don't like the way those look. So maybe you'll notice later on we replace those. So don't mind that they look a bit bad right now. So then I got started on inking the face, like actual inking. And I included spikes because I used to actually draw spikes on my face as part of my daily makeup. Believe it or not. Nowadays, I just spike up my lower lashes because I think that makes for a cute Harajuku-ish look. It's really cute. It's very sweet. Then I started on the base and the twin tails. The twin tails give it more of a punkish look, which I enjoy a lot. Now I just fixed it with liquify a bit. And then I added the piercings because I actually have piercings. You don't see it in my model, but I do have piercings and I think they're very sweet, very cute. I added my sleeves and some swoosh. I just think drawn shirts look better when they have those crinkles, you know? I like that. I like a crinkle moment. I like lots of moments. Then I was struggling around with the pants. I hate drawing pants. They're always hard to draw. Yeah. Barely inked the fingers because who knows how to draw fingers? Like, that's not a thing. That's a myth made up by big glove corporations. Fingers aren't real. So here I am struggling with the feet and the shoelaces. How do you guys tie your shoelaces? Because I know there's the bunny method and then there's a different one. I use the bunny method because I think it's more efficient and more fun, honestly. Like, it got a little bun. That's cute. I love bunnies. Like, if I was an animal, I think I'd be a bunny. What do you guys think? I think I'd be a bunny or a cat. Something sweet, something small. So, moving on. We are fully inked now. And inverted because I actually, before coloring in, before rendering my art, I always put it on I always remove the background, so it's transparent currently. Don't worry, it won't stay like this for long. And then I add a bright color onto my character, just so I have the select area where I'm actually coloring in, and then can add a clipping mask on top of that. And so I only draw within the lines. Because it has happened to me that my hand slipped and I accidentally drew outside of the lines and didn't realize it, and then exported it that way and then uploaded it that way. And then I realized later on, but it's already too late. My art is already too messy and it's so embarrassing. So, check your art. So I added this in. I just follow the lines and then use the fill tool to get everything colored. So you can just see a pink silhouette right now. And that's where I realized, no, the short socks look ugly. I'm making long socks. And so I added long socks, colored those in black, colored my shirt black. I like a pitch black moment, and start coloring the legs and the skin. So funnily enough, I draw myself with really pale skin, even though not even my model has that pale skin. I'm Mexican. I'm Mexican. I'm not that pale. But yeah, for some reason I draw my character that way. Okay. So then I was trying to go for like a red moment, but nah, looked bad. So I moved on and started shading as well. Just with like a pale gray color. Nothing special. I know some people like to use purples and blues to shade their white, but me personally, I prefer gray because it just gives off that like grungy, dead kind of look, if you know what I mean. Like, purple is too alive, if I had to describe it. And blue is too dead. Like, blue, white shading reminds me of like how you would shade like a blanket, clouds, clothing. It's not a human shading color, in my opinion, at least. Now, I was struggling with the A bit, so I decided to make it this gray shade because it looked better. And then I scrapped that because I realized that it wouldn't fit too well. I can talk more about it later on when you see it actually. So I started trying to do the starter pack design. So then I traced the minifigures pack. Did you guys ever get anything good out of those? Oh, I'm so sorry. My phone is buzzing. This is not supposed to happen. I thought I put it on mute. I am so sorry. Let's move on. So I love those minifigures. I never got to have any though. My mother never allowed me to. It's very sad. And then I just turned this one white so I can put it on top of here, because that's easier than having trying to erase that. And now the screen goes pitch black for a bit. I'm sorry. Next time when I do a draw with me, I promise it will be better, because I will be screen recording the next time I do a draw with me. This is a one-time thing that it's this bad. So I'm not experienced in this. Please do forgive me. So then I started adding in the little fields. Like here we got the big field and 3 smaller ones. And I tried adding like a logo on here, like a... I was fed up with the shape, so I took a picture of Google. And so I added text and was struggling to have pretty handwriting on here. But I was pretty set on a green color scheme. And then I started using this as like a guideline. I originally wanted to add no AI, but I don't know, it just didn't work as bad. So as good. It looked bad. It didn't work as good. So I added the made by humans instead. Because I also thought that it's kind of funnier. Like, who else is it supposed to be made by? Well, humans. It's made by humans, but it could also be made by, like, AI. And I added a price. It's not specified which currency it is. I guess it's just 11.99 years of your life. So you can actually see, maybe, I think you can see it. I tried to fit it in, but it would have just looked very squished, very bad. Or I would have had to elongate it beyond recognition. So I just decided to scratch that, maybe use this drawing somewhere else, some other time, and draw a new one. So I looked up some chibi bases and chose this one to base mine off of. And so I started with a rough sketch and cleaned it up later on. This is my reference now as to how the character is supposed to look, but a chibi version. So then I wanted to start with the face, but I was like, the face does not look right. So I tried all kinds of different faces and eventually later on settled for one. But for now, I got started on inking everything with white, because I didn't want any outlines this time. I just wanted to add on the white and finish it as is, because I believe that it looks better on a project like this. So I added in the white, and then I added the face, and I just went with a rather common face, I'd say. Tried to add a smile, added the glasses, of course, and added little spikes to symbolize my eyeliner and lashes and stuff. And then I added my red hair, because I have red hair now. It is really pretty wine color, kind of like you see on my VTuber model. Although on my VTuber model, I'm not really sure if it looks absolutely right just now. Might be playing around a little more with the colors, with the outfit. Maybe I'll change the outfit, who knows? For example, might as well show you now. I have right here, a different model I thought up. I don't know if this is the way to go. Let me know if you have any suggestions what kind of outfit I could be doing. Currently I'm just keeping the old one, but if you guys have any ideas, please let me know. After all, I want you to be just as satisfied with everything as I am. So, moving on. Here I made the hair a bit too light at first. I adjusted later on. Don't worry. Trust the process. My whole art is actually trust the process. So I added this smile, but it reminded me too much of Roblox. And it still does, which I think is horrible. Like, nothing against Roblox, but like, I don't want it to be reminiscent of Roblox. Then I added on the shirt, made it black, added the tank top strap, added little details, like the that you can see the inner side of the shirt. And then I started messing with the face a bit again and went onto the shirt. Messed with the face again and liquidified the hair and changed it a bit to be a more compact shape. So, as I mentioned before, I sometimes struggle with having my hair look separated in art. So here you can actually see that perfectly. It is not looking separated. It looks like just big old messy hair, which it's tough. It's tough to keep it separated. It gets better with time. It always gets better with time. I just need a bit more training. Don't worry. I will not upset you guys. So I added on pants. There's beautiful khaki color. I love those pants. They're comfortable. They're cute. They're super duper great. Then I got started on the shoes, and I didn't know if I was going for like an oversized baggy stockings look, or if I wanted to draw the shoes separately. In the end, I did draw the shoes separately because it just made for a much cleaner and prettier look. I darkened the hair, added my necklace because I always wear a necklace. And can you see what I do right now? Yes, I am adding the tips of my shoes now, so you can see I'm actually wearing shoes. I struggled a bit with the shading, but eventually settled on having the shading be just in the center, so it's like kind of light coming from all sides, just throwing it into the middle. If I had to describe it, I wasn't really focused on realism and shading for this one. I just wanted it to look kind of good. And so I added the basic shading. Just simple. And then I added some shading in the hair, which makes for a more separated look, but also not quite. Then I shaded the pants, the rest of the body, and that's about it for the character. So I squished her a bit, gave her shadowing, so it does not look like she's just on there. So she's actually incorporated into the packaging. Which I made with this really pretty dusty green color. Then I flipped her because I thought it would be better if she's facing the other items. So, sorry. The order is a bit messy. Well, then I added some writing. Thought up some writing. So, it's the pinky red edition. Of course. What else would it be? And it is a Punkfutz starter pack. Guys, if you were able to buy this, would you? I totally would. I would buy an action figurine of myself. I think I'd make such a good action figure. Okay, and then I tried to start drawing some cats. This is not my cat. This is just a cat I found. Now this one is actually my cat. That's my beloved son, Terry. He is a cutie. He is super sweet and very, he loves attention. He's very talkative. He is a cute little guy. I always have to lock him out while filming my videos, otherwise you hear him complain in the background, because this little man cannot sleep without me and is always begging me to come lay down with him. He is such a sweetie. I love him. And yeah, I tried drawing him, but it wasn't looking the way I wanted it to. It looked too realistic, I guess, in comparison to other things. So for then, I held off and just went on to the plastic wrapping, because they always have that like bulky plastic around the little things, which I added on here. And I was trying to decide how to add it, if it should be white, if it should be blue, what kind of layering method it should have, if it's multiply, normal, soft light, if you know what I mean by that. Then I added the reflection lines and also did the same for that and changed the transparency. Now I added this onto every single one of them. I had them face all the same direction. And then I added the glossy lines on the borders to the other ones. And then I was too fed up with trying to draw everything, so I just added my little kitty cat right on there, like just a cute little cut out of him. I love my kitty cat. Let me up something about him. He's actually a rescue cat. So we got him from Spain, where he was found on an orange field. Someone left quite a few very, very young kittens there, him and his siblings. They were just left there. Someone just didn't want them anymore, I guess, and they were hiding in there. And when they were rescued, they were first brought back to full health, and then they were transferred to people who were willing to take him in. And you're like, yeah, sure, let's take him in. We have 2 cats already, and we're willing to take in another. We already have a male. This will work out great. And it did. It did work out so well. Him and the older guy loved each other. Now the older guy is gone. Which is sad, but, pets get lost. Circumstances change. Everything changes. It's totally okay. I'm okay now. I hope he's okay too. So we adopted Terry, and he is the sweetest little guy ever. His name's Terry Cruz, and he's very sweet. Although he's very nice and like lovely and very, very open and social. Even though he has had so much in his past, like first he was abandoned as a child, as a little baby kitten, as a little thing, as a little ball of fur. And then later on, when he was almost a year old, so he's a free roaming cat because we live quite close to, like, in our direct proximity, there's only schools and farms. There's only farmland. There's not a lot of cars driving here even. So it's very safe for them. They don't go too far. They wear a collar and everything. So it's safe. Don't worry, you guys. But in one of his first years, he actually was victim of, like, I guess a hate crime. I don't want to call it a hate crime, but it was like obviously very planned, if I had to say. Because he was shot with an unlicensed air gun. But he's better now. He was a strong little guy. They said the chances of him making it were very low, but he fought through it and is now as happy as ever. Is now just a chill little guy. Now he's very sweet, very kind. He's sweet despite everything he's gone through, which I think is very admirable, and we should all be a bit more like him, because he's even though he's just a dumb little cat, he is a prime example of how you should deal with your past. How you shouldn't let it take over you, how you should embrace it, but not let it be you. Don't let your past run you. You are not your past. Your past is something about you, but it's not you. and you shouldn't let it dictate the way you live your life now. Of course, he still has scars from it. He still has the scars. He still has Schrauben, kind of like nails, but like twirly nails, twirly nails from it. But he's better now. He's happy. He enjoys life. And that's what we should do too. Just because of what happened in the past, you shouldn't let that change you in the future. Your future you and your past you are two completely different people. You decide how your future you is going to be. And yeah, that's kind of a philosophy I live by. I try to live as much like my little cat. He just enjoys life, does what he wants, and doesn't let anyone stop him in his tracks, and I think that's great. But now, let's get away from the deep talk and continue with the draw with me. That got a bit deep. I'm sorry. So now we have a Kodak camera, because I actually love taking pictures. And then we got some Polaroids. I know this camera does not shoot Polaroids. I know. It's just an example picture because I couldn't find the actual pictures I wanted without some random strange people on there, and I didn't have access to any pictures I could take my own picture of. So I just took this image. Don't get mad in the comments, please. So yeah, I just took those Polaroids and I tried to make a cute composition with them and the camera. Of course, I added the shadowing, but it was hard because there was always something missing, but I didn't want to layer them, so I added another camera on. So this is actually the Kodak Sports variant. This is one I have currently, and it is a fully waterproof camera, and it is mechanical instead of electronic, which is kind of cool. It's not electrical camera, but it's a mechanical camera, so it does not have a flash even. But that's the reason it's only supposed to be used in outdoor or really, really brightly lit spaces. Because otherwise you would just not get a pretty picture. For the next one, I only have like 3 shots on it. So for the next one, I'm going to get a normal one. But it was definitely an experience using this camera. So moving on. We have a Chica figure. This is actually an exact one I have in my own home. All figurines I added on there are the ones that I have at my home. So this one I bought back in God knows. I don't know. Yeah, but it's cute. I like Kaguya-sama Love is War. My favorite character is Hayasaka. I love her. She is a sweetie. She's my fave. And Ishigami because I relate to him a lot. He's very sweet. So yeah, I love those characters. I actually was kind of rooting for Hayasaka and Ishigami, but that's just my personal ship. I guess Miko reminded me a bit too much of myself to actually enjoy her and Ishigami getting together. So now we have Monica. As I mentioned in my last video, Monica's best girl, so I obviously have this figurine as well. I love Monica. She is a sweetie. And yeah, I totally get Monica. She gets me, I get her. So yeah, that's why she's my fave. That's why she's my favorite girl, because I don't see her as a villain. She is a victim of her circumstances. They were all victims. The villain is Salvado, the one who put them in the game. Yeah, well, as I accidentally skipped over Sonico, as you can see right here in her little packaging, I actually have this figurine as well. I bought it at my last Comic-Con, and I love Sonico. I'm a Sonico fiend. She's very cool. Like, many people just write her off as this porn, horny character, but that's not what she's all about at all. I mean, she's a sweet girl who has a band with her friends. She plays the guitar. She takes care of stray kittens, I guess. I know she has a lot of kittens and that she adopts a lot of them. So I'm assuming they're stray kittens right now. It's been a while since I watched the anime. I should give it a rewatch. And if you haven't watched it or haven't watched it in a while, you should actually too go watch Sonico after this video. Yeah, do that. So Sonico is a total sweetie. I love her. She takes care of cats. She's a good band member, and she's a college student. And she earns her money on the side by being a model. She's confident, she's sweet, she's nice. Isn't that great? Like, she's a total role model, honestly. Because, like, she's a dedicated worker, as shown by her being a total professional at the modeling she does. She is sweet to her friends and band members, helps them out a lot. She's good. She's reliable, I guess. I'm not one of those creeps that just love Sonico because of her big boobs. I just like her. She's like Hello Kitty to me. It's stupid, but she's like Hello Kitty. And yeah, and she's also a dedicated student. That's cool. Like, we love a girl who can multitask. Going to school, working, and being in a band at the same time is a lot of effort, and it takes guts to do that, and I appreciate that about her. I respect her. I like Sonico. And yeah, so then I was pretty much finished with the starter pack itself, so I got started on the way I want to present it, and that is, so I know this isn't a toy shop, but it works. So I just took some picture of a supermarket and added, if you can see it here, my starter pack in the back. Added the shadow so it looks incorporated. Made the background blurry and added a bigger version of the starter pack with the circle and arrow to show it. I don't know why it resets. I don't know what's up with that. Let me just show you the final product again so you can yap a bit about it. Yes, okay, so I blurred the background a bit and made the smaller version itself a bit blurry as well, but not as blurry as the background. Added the circle and arrow like those clickbait thumbnails. And added the bigger version in the front so it sticks out more, like, oh my god, it's the Punk Forza starter pack. Oh my god, it's out finally. Wah! And yeah, this is the finished product. I hope you guys think it's cool. Now I want to know if this was an actual figure, would you guys buy it? Would you guys buy me? What is it worth the $12, euros, whatever, 12 years of your life? Yeah, just tell me. Hit me up. If it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And for the outro, let's move over to the close-up screen again. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to make this yourself, please don't request AI to generate you a starter pack. Commission actual artists, please. That is a very important topic to me, as I'm an artist myself. AI isn't and will never be able to recreate the emotion that a starter pack can convey. I really enjoyed this project. It was a beautiful project, and I believe that it can be fun for anyone to do, even if you're not very good at arts. And if you really want a really, really pretty one, just commission some artists. There's a lot of good ones on Instagram and TikTok and stuff. For example, shout out to Goat Kalina. He is one of the best artists I know. I always see him on Comic-Con. He is super duper cool. I think his art is cool as well. So please commission actual artists for your art. Don't just let AI do everything, because AI takes the soul out of this kind of stuff, because it cannot imagine things in the way you want it to. it cannot interpret things the way you want it to. If you tell a human, please draw a starter pack that perfectly encapsulates my aura, they can put in a lot more effort and emotion into it because they have their own view of you. They see you in a certain way. An AI can only give you a very objective view on yourself. So if you tell AI, oh yeah, this is me, this is how I look like, and I work at an office and I like computers, guess what it will give you? It will give you in a suit, and probably add a computer as the extra, maybe a mug or something. But it cannot incorporate your hobbies and interests the way an actual human will ever be able to. That's why I think that even though AI art may be faster and quicker, it's bad for the environment. It's bad for artists. It's bad for artist morale even, seeing AI art get clicked a lot more than their own art. And yeah, please commission actual artists like Goat Kalina, as I already mentioned them, or Panda Draws. Panda Draws is a personal friend of mine. They're currently on the beginning steps of their artist road. They haven't actually done many commissions yet, I believe. But I do believe that their art is beautiful. I will link both of them in the description. Check out their art. Commission something from them. And yeah, that's about it for today. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed the video, even though this is a bit different than usually. And see you next time, hopefully. Bye-bye!